Well, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum late edition in the evening. I think it's like 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I apologize. I got so many things going on. Everyone's doing this, but you know what? You have to work on it. And I still wanted to do the show and share with you some thoughts on some sprint planning, stuffed activities, and today I'm talking about using like continuing the baseball theme from before and using a baseball lineup, like how the manager puts their batting lineup together and preparing for a game, using the same mentality or using something fun or interesting like that to plan your sprint planning. Like have the same kind of logic, how it does there. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and how it's not sprint planning. It's just not throwing stuff up against the wall, but there is a little strategy to it. And I'm going to compare it to batting order a little bit. So we're going to talk about that today on our Thursday for 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, where we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way, so you can bring value to your customer and not work so hard to bring that value to them. So, why baseball order, Greg? Why are you talking about? So, if you ever seen Jira, if I have everything here, I do. I have a whiteboard, right? So, in baseball, the manager will pick different players in the lineup based on who's pitching, what kind of pitching, and mix it up based on what their tendencies are and what they're good at versus bunching them all up together. So, like, if we were doing a baseball lineup, and in the lineup there's 10 people, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just go with 7 for now, right? And we got a Bubbles. Hi, Bubbles. She's here. What's up? What's up, Bubbles? When I'm doing a show, did you need to say hi? Here. Get it over with. There she is. Doesn't care. Day or night. She's gonna track me down with the show. Hopefully she won't take the microphone out. Don't take the microphone out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Bubbles, lay down. Hold on. Lay down. Ow. Lay down. There you go. She's crazy. Okay. So in baseball, you have power hitters, you have fast runners, you have different things. So you have like power hitters. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I'll move over a little bit here. There we go. You got power hitters. Power. You have singles and doubles, like just hitters. Right? You have base runners. Like they can steal fast stealers. Probably spelled it wrong. So they got, this looks more like steel. I don't know. Fast stealers, right? So you got people that can run the bases fast. People get walks. People want power, right? So in baseball, you don't want to put everything as like power, hitter, stealer, right? Or fast. I'll put an F for fast. So that's not what you want to do. So in baseball, you might do a hitter, right? So you do a hitter. And maybe you do power, right? Maybe then you do a power. And then maybe you do like a stealer, like fast, maybe, right? And then they always put the power hitter is always the fourth one up because that's the person that can clear the bases all the time. And maybe you do a hitter, a stealer, and a hitter, right? I'm just giving a couple idea. Or I keep saying steal, but I want to put fast, right? Fast, power, right? So you start off with like a power hitter. You start off with a hitter because the idea is they get on base, right? And in baseball, if the hitter gets on base, who normally gets on base, the power person comes up and can get 2 runs or hit it hard, and the hitter can get all the way around the home plate and score a run. Same kind of logic goes with planning a sprint. You don't necessarily want to have all your big items, right? So let's just say, because I'm running on out of room here, but like you have big ticket items or things that will take whole time. So one of the things you consider when you do sprint planning with the requirements. So this is baseball, right? Baseball, right? And then requirements that you want to get done in a sprint, right? Some are large and complex, large, complex, that might take a couple people to do it or a longer time than normal to do. You have simple ones, small items, small issues, maybe just editorial, just things you want to fix or little small improvements, right? And then maybe you have bugs or the production bugs. Okay. Maybe you have some quick hitters. Maybe you have some fast ones, like fast things you could do, fast wins, right? To make the customer happy, something that doesn't take an awful lot of stuff, right? So now here I put the pound. I'm going to get rid of that word. So I'm going to do that. And then let's say in the case of this is a batter. So I'm making a column on here for those who are doing the podcast thing. So I got a couple columns where you can do the worst way where you do all power, right? But then you could do a better way, which is mixing up power hittings and stealing capability or fast runners, right? So the same idea goes to sprint planning. You take the same process. So what you want to do is say, well, we don't want to do all large things. Like, so maybe I can fit 2 in here. Let's see if I can fit 2 in here. And it's going to be tough, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So when you plan your sprint, I want to put L for large, right? Small, bugs, fast, right? So I'm going to put, you don't want to, this is the bad way of doing it. I'm doing all my large ones first, right? And put a risk that I get nothing done. Maybe you get a bug. Maybe get a small one, and maybe you get a fast one at the end. So some people think, oh, let's all do the large ones first because they're high value. You know, it's what everyone wants and stuff like that. But maybe they take more one sprint, right? So what you really want to do is look at the player, the team you have and what's capability. So maybe you put a large one up front, okay? But then maybe you put a small one, maybe you put a bug, right, from the last sprint that you want to fix. And you put them in these order. This is the order that you put in the list when you do sprint planning. Some people think you just do it. And there is a way of doing it where you mix it up, where you have some large ones, some small ones, maybe a bug, maybe another large one, maybe a fast one, right? And then maybe you do another small and 2 smalls at the end. So in this mix up, I got one where I do a large one first. I do a small one. I got a bug. I got another large one. I got one that's fast, something we could win. Like we know would give us a couple days in a sprint. Gets closer to the end of the sprint, we get that done. Maybe 2 smalls, right? So you want to mix up your sprint to have a mix of work, just like we mix up the baseball to take advantage of it. Why? The large ones are high value ticket items, right? But the small ones are quick wins. We need some hitters out there. Yeah, it's going to take a longer, but we don't want to make nothing out. So the same principle applies in sprint planning as it does with baseball batting plan, right? So if you did all power and no one got anywhere, and you got the hitters, and here I got a hitter. But there's 3 hitters, and they all move one base at a time. You don't score any runs, right? And then you have a fast guy at the end, but he's got to get on base, right? So you want to mix it around so the fast guy is on base already, and the hitter comes on and knocks them all around because they're so fast they can outrun people throwing the ball. Same process goes for sprint planning, where you don't want to do all your large items top priority so that everyone and people on your team are stuck with large issues. You want to mix it up Because if you did all large and then that, and you may not get nothing in the sprint. So you work through the whole sprint and there's no value produced in the sprint, right? So take the idea of how a batting order goes and mix it up. Maybe a large one up front because it's going to take a while to do. We just know it. Might as well start earlier than later. Because if you start a large one too far in the sprint, you'll never get it done, right? And you get the partial credit debate and all that kind of stuff. So you put a large one, a small one that you know you can win. So you got something to demo at the end of the sprint. You don't come away at the end of the sprint with no demo, no review, nothing to look at. Maybe you do a bug in there just because you need to fix things right, you know. And maybe then someone picks up another large one when we get there. So we got a couple large issues that are high value ticket items that we want to get done. Maybe you got a fast one in. Something that, yeah, we got a couple people, but maybe someone's moving off one of these other things. We can get another fast win, something we can do real quick just to make the customer and the business happy because you know how they always want it. And then maybe you get a couple small ones towards the end. Don't put a large one. So the idea is that you get this whole thing because unlike batting order, this is where it's really different from a batting order. Now, if I had a fast person here and they started the batting order with no outs, but then I have a power person that comes up or a hitter, they can hit that fast person around because they keep going around the batting order, right? However, in a sprint, we don't. This would be the last item at the very bottom that you would end up with. There is no going back to another large item, right? You want to just finish out the sprint with work that's completed in the sprint. So it's a little bit different towards the end of a sprint versus the end of a batting order, but basically the same idea is the same. And you know, you can use this as a metaphor for talking to your team about how to plan a sprint when they're all there. How do you mix it up? So you can, it's baseball season. Everyone's thinking about, so maybe you pick, like if you had the Phillies or your local team and you looked and everyone says, okay, little drill before we do sprint planning. How does this look? What would you call that? Okay. Now get the idea. So if I did the Phillies and I had Turner who keeps getting hurt, but maybe my power person is Harper, right? Or maybe it's Schwarber, right? And maybe there's another fast person like a Stout, if you know these baseball terms, who they are. You mix it up. So maybe you look at the lineup for the team in the last game, and you go, everybody, okay, would you say they're faster, bigger hitters? How are they mixing it? What is the coach trying to do, right? Try to generate runs, right? And then say, okay, with that thought process, here's all the things we have on our list for the sprint to do. Do we want to rearrange these any so we can make sure we generate some runs before the end of the sprint? Same. It gets them thinking that way. The idea is that it gets them thinking of a different way of doing it. So I wanted to share that with you on this 4R Thursday where we talk about roles, requirements, reviews, and retros. When we talk about requirements, it kind of includes sprint planning because that's where we do our requirements work. And I wanted to share that as a different way to spur the idea rather than just throwing stuff up on the list. You arbitrary pick. Maybe there should be some reasoning and logic between the order and the priority of the work that's in the sprint. And that's just a good example. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope it's helpful. Hope it makes you think about it a little bit more than just throwing it out there and just arbitrarily showing up. And I want to wish you best. I want to wish you happy scrumming. We are doing our 67-day challenge. Hope you follow that. If you're listening to this show, that you go over there as well. And I got a couple opportunities to speak in the next. We did the Princeton Agility Forum, our meetup, and their post is on YouTube. So if you want to watch what I presented for Scrum, the mastermind of Agile, it's there. Right. You can check it out. It was a quick little 10-minute. I think I've talked for about 11 minutes per se on that subject. I had some questions after that. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best. I'm going to wish you a happy scrumming. Don't forget to sign up for our mailing list. And you get a free copy of the book, which is here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I usually had a copy. Been using a couple copies lately. I'm actually doing a book signing next week in Scranton. So we'll see how it goes. Or actually, it's a TV show I'm doing in Scranton. And I'll share more with it as I solidify exactly what it is and what's going on. So if you live in Scranton, PA, I'm going to be on your local TV. So With that, I'm going to wish you all the best. Happy scrumming. Take care and see you soon. Bye, everyone. See ya.